Hello. So I'm actually starting to film this video very far in advance because I really want to make sure I have plenty of time to get it done. But this, I'm guessing, will probably come out sometime in October because I want to make my Halloween costume. Now I'm starting to film this. What is today? It is August 6th, so I'm trying to give myself ample time to get this done. We'll see how many clips I get throughout the working progress over the next couple months, but basically I have desperately wanted to dress up as Howl Pendragon from Howl's Moving Castle for years, just because that is my absolute favorite Studio Ghibli film. I love it so much. I really want to try and crochet his jacket, but I was thinking that it might be fun to, instead of making the jacket exactly, it might be more fun to have like a vest so that it's kind of like a Howl inspired look instead of it just being directly copy paste. And then I also feel like I would maybe wear it more often rather than just as a costume. So yeah, that is the plan. I already have a shirt that I actually got at the Ren Fair that I think would be perfect for this. So, and then I also actually just now was working on some clay earrings that I'm hoping worked out, which you will know way before I do because I literally just finished sculpting those right now. So I have to wait for them to dry before I paint them, and that video will obviously be out before this. So yeah, that is the plan. I'm really excited for this. So I need to pick out some yarn, and his color scheme is definitely very different from my own, but I do have a bunch of bins of yarn in my closet that actually was my grandma's. So I ended up inheriting all of her yarn when she passed. So, and her favorite colors were pink and blue, which is perfect because those are the colors of his jacket. So yeah, so I'm gonna go digging through the bins to see what yarn she had, because I think she has the perfect colors for this outfit. And then, I don't know, it just feels kind of special. I haven't touched much of that yarn because it's still a little fresh, her passing. So that's been a little hard, but I want to use it. It's just sitting here, and I think she would be happy to know that it's being used for something. So yeah, I'm gonna go digging for some yarn, and then I can start working on figuring out how to make this, because I haven't tried making any like diamond patterns before, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna make them individually and then sew them together, or if I'm gonna try and make like a grid. I'm not sure. I haven't decided. So anyways, let's go look for yarn, shall we? Alrighty, so I think I need to remove some stuff. I think actually, oh yeah, she did put the pink and the blue together. That's very handy. So, just gonna start pulling stuff down. If I'm remembering right, this is kind of the color of pink that his jacket is. Is there multiple of these? That's the question. I think that's going to be the most challenging thing is, first of all, this yarn is pretty old, just because my grandma held on to so much yarn, which is totally fair. She also crocheted. She's a big reason why I got into crochet. So a lot of this is older yarn. So if I end up not having enough, I don't know if I'll be able to color match it with something else. So that'll be interesting. But at least for now, I think this is a pretty good color, but let me keep digging and see what we have. Oh yeah, there's this one though. I think actually, if I remember right, my partner has another one of these because they also have been getting into crochet and we're making a Pokemon. So I think I can snag that from them if I end up needing more, because this was just for like an accent color instead of the full. And I think this will be perfect for Howl. So, okay, we'll do that. I'm going to put this one back. And now I'm going to look for the blue. This is probably closer. Yeah. So, I will try to get as much of it done with those as I can. And then I will have to start improvising. So, okay, that's the yarn. I'm going to clean up all this stuff, and then we need to start planning. Hello, so this is Future Sarah here. I realized that while I was working on this, I never did a full breakdown of the pattern that I was using to make this, so I figured that I would do that now, just take some time and show you all what I used in order to make this, so that in case you want to make this yourself, you also have what I was using. So essentially, first I did a mock-up of like what I kind of wanted the vest to look like, so I will have that right here. I just wanted a pretty standard shape for a sweater vest, but I liked the idea of having these like little points in the front. I just thought that would be a cute detail, and especially since I'm not doing sleeves, I don't know, I feel like it adds that like extra fun flair that the jacket has. So I did edit this a few times while I was working on the vest, just because I needed to refigure out the proportions as I was going, but this is the final design that I ended up going with. I did end up adding a collar as well, just because I thought it'd be fun, but I didn't have that in this mock-up design, and I will talk about that later on in the video. This was the main design concept for this. And then to create the diamonds, I found a couple patterns online of different like grids that people use in order to create crochet diamonds. So I found one and I tweaked it so that it would be the size that I was wanting it to be. And then I also made tweaks to the pattern so that it would fit like the different types of diamonds that I was looking for, like half diamonds or like just like a quarter of a diamond, you know? So I have all of those grids here. This is the best that I can think of in order to like visually and written down represent what I was using. So if you need this, feel free to like take a screenshot of this part of the video to look at it. If you haven't read a grid before, essentially all of the circles are chains, and then the stitch height on all of these is a double crochet. And then for the standard diamond, you would increase on the first and last stitch of the row, and then when you are then decreasing, you are decreasing the first and last stitch of the row. That way it creates an even like triangle, you know? And then another thing that I did with this in order to make my life significantly easier when it came to sewing was when I got to the top of a diamond, instead of cutting it off and like finishing off the diamond, instead I would start chaining a new one on top of it. So like I would finish slip stitching at the top, and then I would chain again, starting the next diamond, continuing the pattern that I used before, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. That way all of the diamonds of the same color were attached, and it made it significantly easier in the end, so that I had less ends to sew in and just less to sew together in general, and made it so that the lines were a lot more straight as well. So once I had figured out the official sizing of everything and I had the final design of what I was wanting, I took those out and broke it down into like a list basically of all of the types of diamond chains that I needed. So this was what I used for myself. Again, it's going to be different depending on what size yarn hook you're using and also what size yarn in general. For me, I was using a 4.5mm hook, so it's kind of smaller yarn, so that's why it is the size that it is. But if you're going to make this yourself, I would highly recommend, once you create one of the diamond chains, taking something that you already own and measuring it against that. That way you can get something that's going to be closer to the size that you're wanting, and of course adjust as you're going, just so that it actually is the size that you're looking for. So yeah, with all that figured out, I will now flip back to past me working on the vest, and I will talk to you again in a bit while working through the process. So And now we are back to me from August. So I first wanted to focus on creating all of the diamond chains, just so that I would know what exactly the size of the front panels would be before I started working on the back panel. And of course, I referenced my guide throughout the entire process to make sure I was making the correct number of pieces. And yeah, also I wanted to give myself so much time to finish this project, because I knew that it was going to take me a while since it's a bigger one, and then I didn't want to be rushing right before Halloween to get it done, even though I did kind of end up doing that anyways, because I didn't finish it until very recently, like a week ago, I think. So, but I knew that I had a really busy October, so I just wanted to make sure I had ample time to get this done in order to, again, not be stressing right before the holidays. So I also definitely think that if this was the only thing I had been working on, it wouldn't have taken me as long as it did. But since, again, I was bouncing between projects, it did take me a couple months. But I think if I had just solely focused on this project, it probably would have taken maybe like 2-ish weeks or so. But I feel like that's an optimistic estimate. In reality, I'm sure it would have taken me like a little bit longer than that. Even still, like, it's not too terribly long of a project, just because of it being a vest instead of like a full sweater. So Well, hello. So it has been a long time since I have talked to you guys about this project. I started it back at the beginning of August, I think, and then was working on a bunch of other projects and just kind of sprinkled in making all the diamonds. But I have now finished all the diamonds for the vest. So, and it's September 19th. So it's definitely been slow going working on this. But again, I've just been kind of working on it off and on while working on other things. So I'm definitely thinking that I will for sure have this ready for Halloween, which is great. But yeah, basically, I'm not sure if I talked about the process at all yet of how I made the diamonds, but I found this like grid pattern that worked out really well. And instead of like cutting off the yarn after finishing the diamond, I just continued up with a chain to then make subsequent diamonds off of it. And then I altered the grid so that it would be half sizes as well for the bits that needed half a diamond. So yeah, so I finished all of that, which is great. Now I need to sew all of those together. I'll still have to make a back panel and like do all the edging and stuff. But yeah, it's going pretty well and it's pretty easy, which is nice. So I'm gonna work on sewing up all of those pieces together. I think that's it. Okay, I'm gonna get sewing. Sewing these diamonds together was probably the hardest part of this entire process. Having to manipulate the diamonds so that I could sew the straight edges was honestly kind of a challenge, and it took me so long to sew, but I am still very happy that I made them into chains instead, because I can definitely tell that if I had just made individual diamonds, it would have been a nightmare to try and sew together, and all those ends also would have been horrible trying to sew in at the end. But once I had done that, I was so happy with how it was starting to look. So I have now finished sewing both of the panels. Yeah, so here are both of the panels all sewn together. So now I need to make a back panel, I think, next. I think that would make the most sense. That way I have all of the pieces that are needed for this, and then it'll be making like all the trim and stuff, buttonholes and everything. But yeah, it's coming along so good. I think it's so cute. I'm just so excited to have this costume. I think it's gonna be so fun. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing next. I'll be working on the back panel. It's just gonna be this blue color, probably double crochet, in order to like match the stitch height of the diamonds. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. So I'll work on it soon and I will update when I have more of it done. The process for the back panel was pretty simple. I just laid out the front two panels and then chained enough so that it would match the width of the front panels. And then once I had worked up enough, I just followed the angle of the front with decreases every row in order to create the armholes. So, I think it's been about a month since I have checked in on this project. I honestly, in the last month, have just gotten so incredibly busy. I had a bunch of orders coming on my shop, which I'm so very thankful for. I don't know if any of you were the ones that ordered, but thank you regardless. It's been great being able to work on those. And then I also, in the last couple weeks, had a couple weddings that I had to go to. So I have been very busy and just honestly haven't had any time to work on this. So, and now Halloween is literally a week from today. So it's kind of crunch time. I got all my orders done, which is amazing. And now I really need to finish this vest. So I will show you what I have so far. So as of now, I have the front panels and the back sewn together. And I started doing the yellow rib on the bottom, but I kind of realized that I wanted to add a little collar detail to the top, just because Howl's jacket has a collar, and so I feel like it'll read more Howl with one. So I did start one. I have another skein. I have another skein of this pink yarn, thankfully, so I was able to start working on a collar. I don't want it to be too big, and it'll just stop at one of the diamonds before the buttons. I'll probably just do another 1 or 2 rows of this and then attach it, and then I'll keep working on the ribbing. But yeah, overall there really isn't too much left on this, which is really great. I'm thankful that I have been able to get so much done, and I do really feel like I'm going to be able to finish this in time for Halloween, which I'm very excited for. So yeah, I think first I want to finish up the collar on this, and then I will get back to working on the ribbing around the edges. And yeah, it's almost done, which I'm so excited for. And yeah, also I want to apologize for missing a video this last week. Again, since I have just been so busy and I ended up getting an allergic reaction over the weekend. So it made it so that I wasn't able to actually work on what I wanted to work on. But I'm feeling better from that, and I'm feeling way less stressed about all the work that I've had to do, so I'm happy that I can finish up this vest in time for Halloween and have a video for this week. So anyway, I will get to working on this vest some more, working on that collar, and I will talk to you all in a bit. So I know that you've already basically seen the entire vest, but I have finally finished it, and I think it turned out so cute. And I finished this just in time because tomorrow, while I'm filming this, is Halloween. So I am so excited to have this and to wear this to all the fun Halloween parties I've got going on this weekend. And yeah, so I want to go through the pros and cons. Oh, sorry, just seeing it in the viewfinder is so fun. I love this vest. I think it turned out so good. But I do want to talk about some of the pros and the cons of this now that it is all done and complete. There are some things that I love about it and some things that I do feel like if I were to, for some reason, make this again, I would make some tweaks too. So first off, I did, when picking yarn, I did pick yarn that was slightly different sizes. So I think if I were to do this again, I would obviously pick yarn that's the exact same size because the pink is a little bit of a thicker yarn than the blue. So because of that, it's creating some puckering. And then since I got so down to the wire, I also don't have time to block it before I wear it to all of these Halloween parties. So that's a bit of a bummer, but you know, I can always block it in the future. And I feel like blocking would hopefully help with some of this like bubbliness. Thankfully, you can't really see it on camera that much, but at least like in person, it's a little bubbly. So one thing that I would probably change is maybe getting a couple more buttons. I spaced them a little weird, and then just with the buttons that I chose as well, since they don't sit flush against the vest, it kind of helps to create this like puckering. You can kind of see it right here, but like as I move, it likes to split apart. So I genuinely think though that's just an issue with the buttons that I chose. And then because of choosing those buttons, not getting enough of them in order to make sure this stays closed. But I'm also not positive if I'm going to keep it closed the whole time I wear it. So I might experiment with having it open a bit as well. But at least for now, for this purpose, for Halloween, I think it's fine and I think it's fun. So, and I also don't think anyone's really going to notice or care for that matter. So, and then another thing is that you can kind of see it happening right now, but with how I attach the collar, it's wanting to like pop up a bit, which I guess if I think about it, that's more similar to what Howl's jacket is, but that's not the vibe I'm going for. That's not exactly what I was wanting. So that's, I think, just an issue with how I attached it. I think it just wants to flip up instead. I'd maybe try making it on top of it instead of making it and then sewing it on, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, those are the main things. But overall, I really think this is so cute. I'm happy that I did add this collar because I do feel like it makes it feel more like Howl's outfit. Yeah, I think the full shape is really fun. I like the little diamonds at the bottom. I think those are really cute, and I think it adds like a fun little extra flair. And yeah, and I also think that the colors I picked are relatively close to his actual jacket, at least as close as I could get with using up yarn that I already had. But yeah, I really am happy with this. I'm so excited to once again wear this to all the Halloween parties and, you know, have it also for the future for any like Comic-Cons, or I don't know, other events where I could dress up as Howl. I think it's super fun, and I am just so happy that I can finally dress up as Howl. It's great. I'm really happy. So yeah, but with that, this is my last video of the month. So I know that originally I had planned to do every single week having this longer video, but unfortunately I missed last week. But still, I did a lot of work this month. So especially also with shorts, I had been posting artwork every other day, which was a lot of work as well. So, you know, I think I'm gonna take the next week off, try and think of some new art projects, some new crochet projects as well that I can work on for the next couple of months, especially now that it's going to be coming up on holidays. So I have to start thinking about all of the holiday gifts that I need to make for friends and family. So I'm sure I will make lots of content around that as well. Yeah, I think that's everything. So thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and everything. So camera's going to be in a little different position because I just ran out of storage, which is so funny since I was just editing the video, but I've freed up some space so I can actually properly finish this. So as I was saying, if there's anything else you guys want to see me make or do, just let me know down below. Make sure to like and subscribe and everything, and I will see you all in a couple weeks. Bye! So for me, this was what I was going off of. Whoa, sorry, a crow. A crow just flew off the roof and that genuinely jump scared me. Okay, continuing. Which is I went talking so hard. And I finished it just in time because tomorrow while I'm filming this filming. Why can't I say that? Filming. And I finished it just in time because tomorrow while I'm filming wow, I can't believe I ran out of storage while filming the end. I got so close to being able to finish this without having to record a new piece. So, new piece? I've been working too much. I need a break. Okay, bye. Happy Halloween, everyone.